time was looking increasingly unlikely if Toomey had anything to do with it. Due to her work commitments, I hadn't seen Zoe in more than a week, and I missed her. I'm not embarrassed to admit it either. We are an item, and it feels good. The closer 5:15 came, the more my androgens were crawling the walls. And that's why it took me several long seconds to process Toomey's disclosure. During which time he said, "Give it to me straight, Doc. Don't hold back now. I'm a big boy. I can handle it." Physically, he could, no doubt about it. Physically, Gus Toomey was a mountain of muscle squeezed into a jazzy Hawaiian shirt, the kind of muscle I imagined made solid by years of steroid abuse. He was in his late 30s with one of those heavy brows that brawlers use as battering rams. He told me he was a bodybuilder, and he had big bitten fingernails that could poke holes in brickwork. Physically, Gus Toomey looked like a character straight off the pages of Homer's Odyssey, sitting here in his painfully tight short shorts. Mentally, it was a different story. Inside, he was a Grimm's fairy tale, in which he struggled with control issues, paranoia, and one or two bad habits. Mentally, he was as vulnerable as the rest of us. "Give it to me straight," he'd said. "I can handle it." For the past 58 minutes, Toomey had tiptoed through his minefield, avoiding broaching the real reason behind his visit. Then, with the clock ticking, he'd handed me his unexploded bomb and expected me to defuse it in 90 seconds. I wondered which wire of his I'd have to cut first. "Gus, you do know it's against the law to seriously hurt someone. It's common sense, right? But you have to check. We're not all born with it. Some people will touch the flame just to prove the pain." "Sure I do," he said, responding far too quickly, as most in his position do, but he didn't look sure, as most of them don't. Unseen, I scribbled an exclamation point next to his name on my notepad. In total, I've been doing talk therapy with the natives of Southwest Florida for almost 10 years now. It's an interesting and rewarding job, and I like it. And I'm not just saying that because I get to hear offbeat confessions and other people's dark secrets. On more than one level, it satisfies a selfish need in me, and that's my own hang-up. It also means that for 4 days each week, I get to trowel toughening filler into all manner of fractures and cracks. Underappreciated husbands like Gus Toomey, needy people in search of a little reassurance, anxious people with life-altering obsessions. I'm not a medical doctor, and I don't command a 6-figure salary, but I like to think I make a difference. The bulk of my work comes in the form of referrals from family physicians. About a quarter of clients are random walk-ins right off the street. Gus Toomey was one such last minute, seemed like a good idea at the time. He'd been sitting in the easy chair facing me in the sunlit office for the better part of an hour, voicing the usual complaints about unreasonable life expectations, with no mention of wanting to do his wife mortal harm. In fact, up until his admission, I hadn't detected much in the way of hostility from Toomey. He'd come across as a likable enough character with the usual emotional baggage accumulated by somebody his age. Now I was beginning to think he regretted coming in. "Gus, how long have you felt this way?" "I guess since the first time I saw them together." "Your wife and her lover?" He nodded. "Yeah, him and her. They were making out." "In your home?" "No, God, no. They were in his car at the state park." "Lover's Key?" "Yeah, you know it?" "I take my boat up there sometimes. It's a nice place." "Not this time. It was after dark. The car windows were steamed up, but I managed to see enough of what I needed to see." "You mean you followed them?" "Damn right I did. Been doing it for months now. Each time it's either the beach or a hotel. The first occasion it was Lover's Key. I got pictures. The second time, I held up a halting hand. "You took photographs of them together?" "With a night vision filter."